Bugs. I don't like bugs. I especially don't like wasps, and I don't like mosquitoes. That's why in this video I'm going to show you how to fit a Dometic FT200 Flyscreen in your Citroen Relay, Fiat Ducato, Peugeot Boxer or Ram Promaster. Coming up. So when our van conversion is finished, the family and I are planning on travelling quite extensively around Europe and further afield as well. And one thing we don't want in our van is wasps, mosquitoes and other flying bugs. So definitely a wise choice to install for us anyway, I think, was going to be this Dometic FT200 Flyscreen. Here it is, just there. We're going to unbox that in a second. I'm just about to finish off the floor in the van, but before I do that, I thought I'd better unpack the Flyscreen and have a look and see what that's all about. Let's go over to the van and I'll show you my thoughts. Okay, so we have the wooden battens in, and my 25mm PIR board is here ready to fit. But I thought, before I go too crazy on that and get the ply top on and get that finished off, I better just have a look at this Flyscreen, because I don't know at this stage how this depth here is going to affect this Flyscreen, and whether that will comfortably sit on the top of the plywood or whether it needs to sit down on this bit here, in which case my floor is going to need to recess in just a little bit. So that's my train of thought with this. I may not get the Flyscreen fully installed at this stage, but I'm certainly going to unbox it and have a look so I can make any changes and amendments here if I need to. Right, let's get it unboxed and see what it's all about. Right, so I've never installed one of these before, so this is a leap into the unknown for me, but let's have a look and see what we've got. Let's get this packaging out of the way. So, some instructions, multiple languages, and some pop rivets in there by the looks of things. The actual Flyscreen itself. Okay, this is the plastic trim to cover all the sort of workings and the gubbings, which will go on right at the end when I've finished. This is obviously the top piece, judging by the curves on the end, and this is the bottom piece where the Flyscreen, I'd imagine the upright must clip on there, and then this has got some recessed screw holes here, so obviously this screws down to something. Now, interesting, there is a depth there already, look. Whether that is to fit over your flooring or not, I don't know. Anyway, right, let me crack open the instructions, have a read, and I will come back to you. Okay, so I've got the Flyscreen sort of trigged up into place, and I'm really glad I've done it at this stage. So, top tip for everybody: do your Flyscreen at the same time that you're doing your floor, and I will explain why in just a moment. Right, so I've just got it trigged in here for now on some parcel tape, some gaffer tape. So we've got this offered in. There's a little bit of a gap there for some reason, but it is pushed right in, touching the rubber door seal, and it won't go up any higher, so that must be it. And we've got quite a gap through here, but there is a piece of plastic trim that comes with it. And down at the bottom, again, I've just got it trigged up, as you can see, with some pieces of wood. Right, let me explain what I've done. So first of all, I have had to take out the timbers that I had here because they were going to be in the way, and I've also had to cut this one back here. So if you're fitting a Flyscreen, make sure you give yourself plenty of space for this rail. and it's just offered in there like so. And at the front here, this lip just sort of sits over the lip of the van, so it does go directly down to the metalwork. Now, one thing that's interesting is, if I just show you the instructions here, item number 3 on there says that the piece of wood that goes underneath the metal extrusion is 20 millimeters. Well, that's a load of old tosh, because what I've got underneath here is a piece of 27 by 34. The 34 is just a little bit long, and 27 goes in, and if anything I've just got a little bit of a gap, so I'm just going to pop a little spacer in here, and then when that's fixed down, that will be fine. So in between where the ridges on the van are, I'm going to put some 27mm pieces of wood in, sort of one here, and so forth as we go along. And then I'm going to Sikaflex that underneath. I'm going to Sikaflex and screw these pieces of timber down, and then this aluminium extrusion can be screwed down onto the timber to hold that nicely in place. And I have tested the fly screen. It looks all a bit flappy at the moment because I haven't tightened up these strings that come with it. I think I'll have to read the instructions for that one, although that pains me because you know what it's like, men don't read instructions, but still. So now I've got it trigged in there. I've got about 1 millimeter of up and down play on the thing, and it does slide quite freely. And then this top piece here, how this fixes is up underneath here, and there's some little pre-drilled holes here, so you just drill straight through and straight up into the metalwork of the van to hold that in place. And as you can see, it sits snugly just inside the rubber trim for the door. So I think the important reason why you need to do this before you get the floor finished is, and oh, incidentally, I wonder if this 20mm that they say is from the top of these ridges here as opposed to on the bottom. It could well be, but interestingly, when I've got this pushed in there in a position where it's going to be fixed, I'm only a couple of millimeters away from my 25mm batten, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is, let me get this piece of ply in. So this is a piece of scrap 12mm, so this is going to represent my floor. So what I'm going to do, once all that's fixed in and my PIR board is in, when I put my ply floor in, that's going to sit on there like so and just cover the lip, and then I'm going to finish it with a piece of angled aluminium, which is going to sit over the top like so. Is going to be my finished article, and I think that's going to look quite neat and tidy. Obviously this will have a floor covering of some sort on the top there, but that I think is going to look okay. Okay, so I've got this in and fitted now. It's a little bit of a faff because you need to attach the bottom rail and the top piece up here, and get the strings on, and then lift it into place all in one piece. So it's really a sort of two-person job to lift this in without it all falling to bits on you again as you're moving it. But anyway, we got there. So what I did at the bottom here is the 27mm batten that I mentioned before. I actually changed my mind, and I've put one big long piece all the way along, and I've just notched out where the ridges on the van are, so it sits nice and flat down. And then this bottom rail, or the skirting board as they call it, is just some simple little wood screws that fix into there. and then this string at the bottom. I read the instructions and it didn't really say an awful lot about that, other than, let me try and get in close here. There's a little clip here with a screw in there, and you can adjust that screw to either pull some more string out to make it tighter or loosen it, but actually now I've got that on there, it seems quite happy as it is. And at the top now looks like this. It's sitting quite nice and flush all the way along. There's one fixed in to put through there to join these two pieces together, which on the outside is just a nylock nut. That dreaded string is up inside there again, and this attaches at this end. If I can just zoom in there, in the same manner, it just clips around that sort of spigot, and there's an adjustment screw there. And then this piece is held up just with some long self-drilling screws that just go straight up through into the bodywork, and there's 3 of those. So actually not an awful lot of fixings really, it's quite straightforward. There's just one job for me left to do, and that is in my hand here. I have the clips and screws to go over those 2 little spigots to stop the cable sort of springing off when you're operating it. And let's have a look and see how this works. Let's put those down a second. So it's a little bit stiff, I guess, because it's new, but that pulls across. It's a little bit tight at that end, like so. We've got tiny little gap through here, but there is a sort of brush in there, as you can see, which helps that. I think you've got to have a fairly persistent little bug to get through that small gap. And then at this end, obviously quite a big hole there at the moment, but that's what that extra plastic piece is for, to cover that up. But I'm not going to do that yet because we need to get the wall panels on first. And I haven't needed to actually make any adjustments to this at all. It's working quite nicely just as it is. And then just to finish off, like I mentioned before, this is how I'm going to do my floor on here. I'm going to bring my plywood floor across and onto the top of there, like so. And then I'm going to put an aluminium extrusion piece of trim just on the front there, like that. And then I'll adjust that so that it's sitting just shy of the runner. And the finished article is going to look like that, and then this should run nicely through there. Oh, just one little footnote. I think there is one thing I am going to try and attend to, and that is the top here. Let me just show you. Up in here there is a plastic piece that sits up inside, but it's got a little bit of play, as you can hear. Just moves backwards and forwards. This is obviously just to allow that to slide freely and not rub. The only trouble is when you close the door, and as we all know on these types of vans, you need to give it a bit of a shove. This is what happens. That's going to drive me insane. So I definitely need to do something with that up in there. Anyway, apart from that, it's all good and perfectly happy. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.